gonna wait you put it by my crotch?
Why?
Because I saved you from putting it by my crotch. I was just gonna see if you'd...
No.
Okay.
Right here, I got you. For me.
Thanks. How's your guys' day going?
It's pretty good. Lots of driving. Oh.
I mean, I care about your day too. I was just gonna let them go first.
Wait,
Alright,
like Dora or something, where it's like, what's the answer? That's right.
That's right.
What's 2 plus 2?
5.
You guessed it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody,
I'm Adam.
I'm Sam.
and I'm Will,
And we are
Working
Title!
One last time.
Oh yeah. One last time.
Fuck.
Guys, we are back. It is Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. This is the series finale, episode 64,
The Journey's End.
A Journey's End. Last on,
They
the
won.
truth has set them free. Ed and Al are fully restored. Hohenheim has departed from this world. And our heroes are about to take the next steps to a brand new dawn.
So if you like this whole reaction to this show, leave a like. If you just tuned into it, what is wrong with you? Go back and start from the beginning. Seriously. If you want to get...
And subscribe.
And subscribe. If you want to get our content 2 week in advance or 1 week in advance, check out our Patreon. You can become a sponsor over there as well, where you can talk to us on Discord and stuff and all that goodness and meet all our other fans and stuff. And then it's not a market substitute. You gotta watch it over there, goofball. I don't know what you're doing here first, and then come back here and then watch it, alright?
Yeah, goofball.
Yeah, goofball.
We're
Punch
gonna
it.
punch it. Bow!
This is it.
Can you tell me which room Colonel Roy Mustang is in?
Well,
I'm his private practice doctor. Just tell him Knox is here to see him.
Knox.
Long time no see, Mr. Coroner.
It's a good thing I didn't say Marco.
Yeah.
I guess.
Last time we saw him, he was reuniting with his wife and son.
He's kind of my secret weapon.
For
how's
what?
he do?
The farming method that's used in the Ishvalan region. They mainly double crop. Now think.
Double crop.
I know this stuff inside out. Yeah, and I do know it. Is that so? Which 2 crops are the Ishvalans known for cultivating? Wheat and cotton. That's correct.
Look at his
Yes,
face.
come on.
he wants to make things right before becoming the Fuhrer.
Well, ambitious.
Love that.
I envisioned a better future. And this is the price I had to pay for it.
Yeah.
Damn.
And are you okay with that?
I mean, you
Well,
can't,
I wouldn't say okay.
you can't really do anything
But
about
still,
it.
I won't let it stop me from moving forward either.
Oh.
Yeah.
So tell me,
I'm calling off the military occupation.
Good.
And then I'll return their holy land to the Ishvalans left living in
Nice.
the slums.
Right.
Nice.
There's still a lot to be done.
We owe them plenty. We'd all be dead now if it weren't for Scar and the Ishvalans.
True.
Yes, sir.
It's the very least we can do to repay them.
Yeah, man.
Colonel,
this room just reeks of optimism.
Is
Hey, Dr. Marco, listen to this. They're already one step ahead of you in here.
that the other guy?
Marco. Dr. Marco's here?
His secret weapon.
Finally, they're both in the same room. I cannot get
Almost
confused.
there. I brought a philosopher's stone with me. I believe that it might be able to return your eyesight. Let me heal you with the stone so you can restore Ishval.
Yeah.
I know some people who might not like this. Especially Fullmetal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will accept your offer. And I'll devote my life to seeing Ishval restored.
Damn.
You can heal me after you heal him.
Oh! I know who.
From our hearts to your home, you've reached the Havoc General Store.
Ah!
Hey, Breda, what's up?
What?
Do what?
Colonel Mustang's requested Major Miles to assist him in dealing with Ishvalan affairs.
So, I thought you might be able to assist me.
Nice.
The killer, that. And this is our chance. We can rescue our people. Is this why I was saved from death?
Yeah.
At least to continue living.
I accept. I'll join you. From now on, I'll follow you wherever you see fit.
Oh, Mustang. I wish I could see the look on your face when you find out Scar's still alive.
I'm neither of the people I once was. I don't need a name. Call me anything.
Fair enough.
Okay.
You take care, Ishvalan.
Snack.
Dude looks like a hero right now. Look at that.
Yeah.
A hero stance.
I didn't realize my muscles had atrophied so much on the other side.
God, look at him.
I can walk around on my own.
It looks like a man.
Yeah, he has to get readjusted. Holy
We better
moly.
get moving then.
Dude dressed like his dad.
Yep.
Do you think they made it back to Shane?
It's been 2 months since they left.
Show it.
I'm sure they're back by now.
Show it now. Quick.
Hey, come on. Quit looking at me like you want to kill me, alright? You're about as stupid as I am, getting mixed up with this country's problems. And
True.
you didn't even end up with the Philosopher's Stone.
But I did.
You know what this means. My clan won.
But
As far as your clan goes, the Yao family will protect yours at all costs.
nice.
Trying to accept and protect everyone is just... it's too greedy.
Ah, I guess you rubbed off on me after all.
Especially you, Alphonse.
Yeah.
You got pretty close with a certain princess. You aiming to be the future Princess Shing?
Come on. She is a nice girl, though. You.
Winry. Yeah. I have to save this crap for the last episode. Dang it. Ugh.
Oh, good.
Hey, you
It's
survived my
here.
list.
Yeah.
It did.
Good job.
It did.
Good job, dog.
Unless.
I guess it technically died and came back.
This will be your first time seeing Alphonse.
She looks a lot older too.
Aw.
Oh,
Doesn't
shit.
Doesn't sound metallic.
No echoey. Stop teasing. Show it already. Show the reuniting.
What? I know. I don't like that. It's like taking so long. Winry just gets shot. Turns out Kimberly is back.
Yeah. His father comes out of the ground. Gotcha!
Tricked ya. Oh, let's go. Yay. Oh, damn it. Have they even kissed in this show?
No.
No.
Gosh, dang. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So sweet. Oh, gosh.
Fullmetal Alchemist.
And their dog.
Oh! God. This was 2 years later. Fuck.
Really?
That's
It's
what
said
it
2
said.
years later.
Oh.
Worth a shot.
God, he's like a
It
man.
looks awesome. Let's get a sequel.
How's the work been lately?
Exhausting. There's a new problem every day, and they're sending me to an early grave.
Grumman.
But I've got help.
I thought he died.
No.
They all came
Well, they
back.
all
Son
died.
of a bitch, I forgot. Please,
You aren't
no.
going to turn the throne over to a younger man?
Where's your demon baby?
Not just yet. A mistress needs a man of experience.
No.
I never met a man more devoted to his work.
I remember. I doubt that I can compare to his devotion to our country.
He's got a third nipple.
Dear.
He's got a nipple on his
What's wrong,
forehead.
sweetheart?
We're gonna keep an eye on him a
Yeah.
little while longer.
Yeah.
Oh, good call.
You understand what must be done.
I'll see to it that never has to happen.
Oh, gosh. What is that thing supposed to be?
That's where the umbilical cord was.
You think?
No.
We've been treated so well. So many people have cared for both of us. And now, for all this compassion from people like you and Mr. Hughes, we feel like it's our turn to repay the happiness that's been given to us.
Isn't that like what the alchemists believe? Equivalent exchange?
No, it's equivalent if you take 10 and then you give 10 back. But if you take 10 and then you add something of yourself, you return 11. It's not much, but it's an all-new principle that we're trying to establish. And now we just have to go out and prove that it actually works.
So I take it you've got something in mind?
We're still haunted by the memory of a little girl that we once knew.
Dear Lord.
We weren't able to save her. Mr. Jerso, Zombino!
There's plenty of food, dig him!
Thanks. Excuse me, can I have some milk here when you get a chance?
Pop it up.
Ever since that day, I was song.
So then, you've paid all your regards?
Milk.
Yes.
And the time is nigh. You ready?
I'm off to Shin, but I'm not stopping there. I'm gonna travel all over the East and study everything I can about their cultures.
Arya.
I want to see all I can. So
Interesting.
you guys, you're really coming along?
What's the problem with that?
We're coming.
Oh yeah.
It's bound to happen if we stick with you. And you can't argue with us. That's based on our animal instincts.
Okay. All right.
We're gonna find a way to get our original bodies back.
Nice.
You told us that we should never give up.
You said to act for ourselves and not leave it to others.
Make sure to oil it every day.
Right.
And please keep the screws tightened.
Yeah.
Dry it off immediately when you get out of the tub.
Fine.
Are you even listening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell her you're gonna miss her.
Well, there's your train.
Oh gosh.
An appointment?
What's wrong?
Listen, Winry.
Well, what?
Butterflies,
Just come
man.
out and say it.
Equivalent exchange! I'll give half of my life to you if you give half of yours to me!
Fine. Okay. That's
That's
good.
one way to say it. That's one way to do it, Ed.
Come on. Do you have to treat everything like alchemy?
Yeah.
The whole equivalent exchange thing is just nonsense.
What you say?
Ugh, it's nonsense. How about I just give you my whole life?
The face.
Oh.
Yeah. She's like, oh shit, I just said that?
Maybe not all of it. 90?
Aww.
70. That's not enough. But 85. Yeah, 85 is a good number. What? Shut up!
Shut up.
Sorry, really?
Edward!
You are so incredible! You knocked equivalent exchange flat on its butt in just a few words.
And what's that mean? Are you making fun of me?
Not at all. Thanks for cheering me up.
Gosh, he looks like Hohenheim from the back. Look at
He
that.
does.
Bye. For now.
Oh,
Aw.
Come home
cute.
soon. Why can't those boys just settle down for a while?
Who are you?
It's good for them to keep moving.
Neighborhood police.
Men who just sit around doing nothing are boring.
There's
Oh!
a painless lesson.
Ah!
Rest in peace.
Just go kill myself over there.
Whoa, look at Scar's.
Woo!
Wow. Oh!
Emperor.
With
L'Enfant, that's sick,
Guardian.
dude. That's sick. Oh my.
Yogi still.
A clown.
He's hanging out with them, I guess.
Uh.
Oh, I was about to say that's
Oh my
little,
God.
little kids. No, it's their kids. Hey, Panina! There you go, Panina. I was just gonna say, we never got Panina again. Yeah. Finn.
Finn.
Okay.
Okay. No after credit?
I was gonna say, you know, we
Did
kept.
Discord lie?
I honestly,
The fuck?
I always thought the after credit was essentially.
The Winry and Ed.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a.
Or did we miss one from
No,
the
no, we didn't miss one. It was. I always thought, because I feel like I watched this on Netflix, and I thought that the 2-year time jump
Was the
was the after credit, but it was so long. Like it was That was a long after credit. It was after credit. But
Yeah.
Do you want to check it online right now, just before we make final decisions to not check any more stuff?
Okay, this is different, but there's a really sweet edit of like that final, like it's like a combination of like the final fight last episode into like the 2-year time jump and everyone being happy with let it all out, and it's like really sweet. Every time I see it, it kind of makes me want to tear up a little bit.
It's a great song.
Yes, truth. This is what you've amounted to in this world. Not much, but a floating head.
A light ornament.
A light ornament.
In this world, truth, you've been claimed by the Swedes.
The Swedes. The Swedes and their furnitures.
Their furnitures.
There are a lot of post-credit scenes, actually. These are all episodes with the scenes after the credits. 6, 8, 28, 29, 30, 32, 33, 36, 40, 42, 43, 44, 46, 48, 49. And yeah, besides those endings of episodes 45, 54, 63, and 64 are different. Cool, thanks for the reply. I went ahead and watched all those post-credit scenes and can now say I've seen it all.
Maybe it's the credits.
Yeah,
I would say the credits because it showed like where people end up.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I
was gonna say it was either the 2-year time jump or it was the collage of all the pictures.
Because it was a new one. Also, I recognized just grabbing the pictures for the thumbnail for last episode. It was a different outro too. It was one that focused more heavily, I think, on Hohenheim. I could be wrong about that. I don't really watch the outro much, but it was like a heavy focused on like his life. Maybe it is. Maybe
no, it's always been that.
It's always been that because it starts with Slave 23, him as Slave 23. All right, never mind.
No.
I guess I just never paid attention.
I brought that up on the way here. I was like, did we show or tell Sam, or did Sam figure out that the very first intro, that's Hohenheim at the very
beginning? Yeah, we talked about that.
Fuck!
We talked about that when I was going and looking at the original like thumbnails for those songs. But, guys, that is the completion of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Oh.
A heart made full metal.
Yeah.
A heart made full metal.
Yeah, this was a good one. This was a good resolve to where we left off last episode. Just basically check marking all our characters that we didn't finish off fully, story wise, arc wise. And it was a good conclusion. A sweet end. Does have me longing for more. I am very glad that there wasn't like an end credit where Salim becomes the devil or something like that.
There ain't no sequel.
Yeah, I'm glad. Well, I'm glad it's open-ended to leave the audience to the imagination of what the tales are that come after this.
Yeah.
I think it's better that way. And it leaves room if these creators ever decide to return to this world one day. And while it seems crazy, crazier things have for sure happened when it comes to things that come out like 40 years later.
Yeah.
I guess to start with Roy, proud of him. Glad he's going with the direction he's going instead of the whole prison routine. I feel like it's just kind of useless to throw yourself in prison. You got a country that needs people that are wanting to change how things are, and who better than the people who've made things wrong, because they're the ones who know what devastations occurred, so they can help fix the problem. And it's also, honestly, that's better penance than just putting yourself in jail, is to fix the problem, not just sit around and wait for another person to do it.
Yeah.
If they were the ones to inflict, they should be the ones to heal. So I like that. I like that ending for Roy. I like that he's bringing back Havoc. Like, Havoc's time isn't done. A lot of optimism in this finale. Nothing but it, and that's fine. Like we talked about like 4 episodes ago. That's what the show has always been. Nice to see Ejiro back, lady saluting. Can never remember her name at the front door to Roy.
Maria Ross.
Oh, Ross.
That's her name. Yeah, and all those characters that were basically a part of that entire plot all got to come together. We got both of the doctors, Knox and Marco.
Finally, Sam cannot say that one is the other.
No, I will say, when he showed up, I was like, it's not Marco. Don't know his name, but I know it's not Marco.
Knox. I forgot his name, though.
I always just called him the coroner.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they rolled up together. I like the idea of the gem. So they were saying that that gem could bring back his eyesight.
Yeah, his vision.
Wow. And, you know, it is a blood gem for sure. But, yeah, maybe best not to tell the people, but I still think it's the best way to maybe honor those that have died, to use their deaths to at least bring life back to those lands.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, too, like, I mean, as far as we know, it seems like all of the souls that get put into Philosopher's Stones are, like, forever in, like, torment. So it's like, might as well use them and get them out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, get them gone.
Or put them to use.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Good use.
No, like, not just, like, don't leave them as a stone and just be like, good luck. Like, you're trapped, you're like a genie in a bottle, trapped forever. But, like, use them so that their souls can be finally, like, laid to rest.
Yeah. Yeah, and that feels like it makes sense. Instead of, like, keeping them in this eternal state with this stone, if the idea is that it eventually dissipates, perhaps those souls move on to something after once they have become made use. So
also use that shit up so nobody else could use it and repeat.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause any more Nina Tucker harm.
Yeah. I'm surprised that they brought her up today, but we can talk about that in a second. But yeah, I'm satisfied with Roy's complete story. He's growing a mustache. Let's see how he does. Well, I guess we're not going to see how he does, but I believe in him. Riza was also going to get healed. Yeah, so everybody in that department's good. And then they got Miles, Olivier, to go check up on Scar. Well,
Olivier saved Scar.
Yeah, they rescued him, and eventually Roy will learn that one of his big allies is going to be Scar. With the help of Miles to bring back the culture for Ishvalan, so that people group don't like lose themselves. Which, you know, fits. You know, the one thing that makes up for the lack of a lot of deaths in this show, just from like the stake perspective, is there's still purpose to what the characters ultimately do by this end episode. Like, there's a reason that these individuals have stayed, and the show gives you that. So as jarring as it is to see Scar with that heroic outlook at the end of the episode, it's fine. It works out, and it's been a long time coming too, so it's fine.
It's the full redemption of his story. I mean, it's the same thing that you were just saying with Roy. It's better for him to be forced to live in this world and make a change than be like, just die. Yeah, get the easy way out, or just lock me in prison and take me away, punish me for my crimes. Like, make them go back and fix the world that they were. Not saying that Scar fucked up the world, because the world kind of fucked Scar up, but he didn't help make it any better at that point. So, give them the opportunity to, like, make it right.
Yeah, and then I guess Olivier's just Olivier. Nothing new is going to change. I guess she'll go back to Walbriggs.
There you go.
Yeah. And her
defend the North
brother is going to take the mansion.
That's what I suggested on the car ride over, but
they don't bring it up.
We never even saw Alex.
Yeah.
He got done dirty this episode. Barely in it.
They could have showed him, like, 2 years later, and he's got, like, an even bigger mustache.
Or show him going out of the shame or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I forgot that he's literally, like, not in this episode at all.
It's a little disappointing, because I feel like he's a bigger character than a lot of characters they showed in this finale.
He was with the boys a lot.
Day one.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. He was one of the first big, like, side characters that I would, like, focus on. But it's all good. I mean, he got a sweet send-off, doing what he always does. Caring for other people, taking the boys to the hospital for Hohenheim, and flexing. He didn't flex on us in the final moment. That was disappointing, but it's okay. I'll forgive you this time.
It would have been amazing for him to go to the train and rip his shirt off, and I have to hug you.
One last time for good measure. I'll see you in My Hero Academia. Yeah, I guess we can just watch him in My Hero from now on, since he just translates.
It just literally is the same one.
It's your turn.
He coined the term.
Yeah.
Little did All Might know he was like the 6th user of All for One.
Yeah.
Or One for All. Where else? We followed Al a little bit. A lot of it.
Wait. Can we talk about Salim first?
Oh gosh, I definitely don't want to end on him. Worst part of the episode, he's still alive. He's got a nip on his head. Okay. I guess he's a complete version of homunculi mixed with human.
I don't know.
As Grumman apparently points out, but if we
See
know
the
that
shady
he's
shit.
alive, man.
You know what we have to do. I'll be sure. No.
Yeah. And
Shut
Grumman, they also said Grumman is Fuhrer at this point.
Yeah, that's garbage.
And that was 2 years later. So I don't know if like Roy was Fuhrer for a minute and then he stopped and then Grumman took over, or if like I don't know exactly how that lines out now.
I think Grumman took over instantly because Roy was blind, because the Fuhrer's wife said, "Are you going to step down for somebody younger?" And he was like, "Oh no."
Yeah, that makes sense.
It would be a shame if he fell.
Murder.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then Ed and Al made their journey home finally. You know, they reminisced on their bodies and
Left
like
home
thanking each other.
together.
Yeah, left
Arrive home together.
Yeah, we left home together. We're gonna arrive together.
Yeah.
And they recalled, you know, Al making a little girlfriend and how Ling kind of like did not forgive May, but like buried the hatchet between the two of them
Yeah.
and their families, so that she can, even though she didn't succeed, like her family's still gonna be good and not have to like live in poverty like they were back in Jing.
Yeah.
And they were successful too. They got the Philosopher's Stone, what they're looking for, immortality.
Yes, they did. And it looks like he was the emperor in that end credit scene.
Yeah,
so
baby.
Yeah.
Good on him.
And then they met up with
awesome.
Winry.
Yeah, and
Fun.
Winry had a great explosive hug, tackled them both, which was a lovely sight to see. I mean, it's nice to see them all aged. It's cool to see them all aged. I mean, they were all relatively older, but before the time jump, but even still, that was sweet. That was something worth looking forward to for this like end episode. That's something I wanted for sure. Didn't get to kiss, but you know, the love is young.
Mm-hmm.
They can barely even talk about love without having to bring up alchemy. So
And turning red in the face.
So they got ways to go, which is fine. This is why I would like a post credit or a mini sequel movie showing what their lives were like. But
We
patiently.
kind of did. Later on, we saw a picture of them.
Right.
With their kids.
Sorry,
Kids.
forgot. Because in that moment, I just thought it was little Ed. Because it literally looked
looked
like
like
Ed.
him.
It looks
And there's
like
a girl
Winry.
too that looks like
Winry.
Oh, I was gonna say
Yeah.
Mace Hughes' daughter.
It did look. It looked like little baby May or Winry from like the first few episodes when they were children. Yeah, so that's exciting. Wonder how many years it was. Didn't look too long. They looked still relatively the same.
Well, May was like as tall as Alphonse in that picture too.
Right, she
I
had
didn't
a growth
see
spurt.
that.
She had a
She
growth
was
spurt.
still
Panina
alive.
was there too.
Wow.
Yeah, she was the one with like the wool coat that she always wears, or like a heavier version of what the color scheme she wears.
Yeah.
Funny enough, it's funny that they did show Panina because I was like, man, they're bringing in all the randoms. The only one we're missing is the guy from Dragon Ball and Panina, or the guy from JoJo and Panina. Guy with like the really sharp Squidward face.
Yeah.
He was even in that.
Yes, he
end
was.
credit.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is the Brosh wasn't in that one too. Brosh and
Oh, yeah.
Armstrong were not in that.
To be fair, I didn't like start to recognize the outro until I saw Jing, so maybe I missed Luis very early when it like first started that outro.
I think he could have been in the picture with Roy and
Yeah.
Riza in the background, but I'm not sure.
Maybe.
I don't remember.
Chris Sabat was too busy playing 50 other people at the time.
Probably. Al and Ed, Al was doing the rounds, you know, saying thank you to Mace Hughes' wife.
Oh my gosh, yeah. The
yeah.
alchemy talk this episode is very interesting
Yeah.
because they're practicing
Something different.
a give form of alchemy where you give more than what you take, right?
Yeah.
So if you're taking a person, I don't know how that works in the form of like the things they've taken in the show prior, but
What did you say? If you take 10, you give back 11.
Yeah.
and see how the benefits start to grow
Yeah.
over time. Like it's not they're testing it. They're testing the boundaries
Yeah.
because they've never considered that, I suppose. I just don't know how practically that works, but I would love to have seen a demonstration. But
Yeah.
perhaps it's better if you don't.
They're trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Hence
theory.
the traveling.
A theory, and they're gonna go see other worlds to see like what other people practice as well. Perhaps maybe there's more than just alchemy and alchemy.
I thought Hohenheim was getting at that when they were talking about how his brother discovered the reverse transmutation circle. I thought he was gonna say like another word that like, oh, there's a third thing.
No, they didn't say that, but I mean, like they allude to like there's clearly multiple ways to do this, because it seems like Hohenheim does it a certain way. Even like it doesn't even seem like Hohenheim does alchemy, because technically he's the one that taught the Xingese people, or however you say their name. Like he taught them how to do alchemy, but it doesn't even seem like that's how he does it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So,
and that's the thing too. The show has never fully labeled the exact rules of what everybody follows, and we've seen so many new forms that over the course of the show where new things come about. So it seems like the tapping in maybe could change person to person, or the different styles of practice, what people learn individually, where they get their information, because it seems like if you do a certain amount of research like Scar's brother, you can learn all kinds of new things. Or if you're working for the devil, you can do a force transmutation, which we learned very late into this show. So it seems like we are still on the cusp of what... We haven't gone down into the iceberg of what alchemy really could mean. But that is what Al's going to explore. Obviously, the most exciting potential future spin-off I would like to see is Al
and Jing
going to see the world. Yeah, going to see Jing and what's beyond with Heinkel, whatever his name is, the lion. And Zappano.
He's not going with the lion.
He's not going with the lion. He's going
is
with
it the porcupine guy?
Yeah.
It's the boar and the frog.
Yeah.
The boar and the frog. The boar and the frog.
Heikel and the gorilla guy are with
Yoki.
He's
a clown.
He's a clown. The circus shit.
Yeah.
They're animals.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Or the freaks.
Build a life for themselves. Good for them.
Yeah, but Al wants to try and like find a new way to help the world, and Ed is going to do the same thing in the West. And the two chimeras are following along because they're not giving up on their hope to find their bodies.
I have to say, my mind is blown that the chimeras survived the end of this.
Oh yeah.
I did not remember that. I don't know. They just seemed like characters that were just going to get whacked off towards the end.
Aren't they on my dead list?
No.
Some of them?
I don't. Maybe some of them.
Well, hold on. Cool parallel. I just realized. Ed and Al, like you just said, are going two different directions.
They are.
Yeah. Just like
their dad and their other dad.
Yeah, but
their dad and their uncle.
But Ed has the children.
Yes.
Which makes Al our father.
Oh shit.
Sequel.
Oh shit.
And he's going.
But he's going to the place where Hohenheim went.
But it's
reversed.
They can't have the exact story when they bring back the sequel.
Jing has a philosopher's stone. It's going to corrupt them.
Yeah.
And turn everything horrible.
Shit fuck.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, and then Ed and Winry had their awkward love battle off of alchemy.
That was cute.
Why don't I just give you all of me?
Yeah.
And then he was like, damn.
Yeah, so I guess that's it. Is there anything else we're missing? Was Granny in the episode?
No.
Maybe she died.
She had a cute moment with
Hody
last episode, which was really sad. But yeah, guys, a wrap on another show.
Well, did you say anything about what are your thoughts on Roy not being Fuhrer?
Funny when we were talking about like all the sequel stuff, I was like, well, and he never became Fuhrer, so we still technically have an unjust ruler potentially at the helm of this nation. So
yeah,
let's hope the Ishvalan healing actually occurs, and they don't try to like make Roy look like another enemy. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to be positive.
And I mean, they also were at war with every other country around them too. Like,
absolutely,
that's still a thing.
Fuhrer was fucked up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's our favorite time. It is time to decide what our favorite moments, characters, arcs.
Okay. Yeah.
Now you can talk about the better.
Yeah.
Oh! It looks just like me!
There's no arcs.
Let's do favorite characters.
Favorite characters? How many are you going to give me? Can we do 5 because it's a big show and we haven't done like seasons?
Five.
Alright. Oh so hard.
This is your moment.
Oh, it's so hard.
Everybody's watched all of this time for your specific opinion.
Okay. Number 1. No, I'm gonna start at number 5. Number 5. Gosh, I don't want to leave out. There's so many good characters, son of a bitch. Okay, number 5 is Alphonse. Number 5 is Alphonse. Number 4. Oh, this is so hard. Hohenheim. Number 3. Ling.
Okay.
And I don't know if you want to qualify Greed too, but I specifically like Ling. I think Greed is just a +1 to that. Number 2, the Fuhrer. And number 1, Edward Elric.
Nice.
A lot of the ones underneath... Ed is for sure the one I know is my favorite character in the show. The other 4 are really... Like, you could throw them in any order and I'd probably be okay.
I'm the same way.
And it's hard, too, because there are so many... Like... And I'm forgetting that Olivia. Here's what I will say, because it's just going to get too complicated. Edward Elric is my favorite character in the show. Easily. Fuhrer Bradley is my favorite villain in the show. Mm-hmm. Easily. I'll say those 2 because it's just the easiest to have 2 categories as good and bad. There's really not a lot of characters I dislike in the show. I think there are a couple that could have had better potential, or I think might have been overhyped in my mind of what I thought might happen with them. A lot of characters really just overall were satisfying. Roy, like that's the thing. Roy, Olivier, Luis are all great characters. Winry's a great character. Her purpose in the story might not be super important overall for what the story's big focuses are, but she's valuable overall in the show. If I had to say characters, well, you guys do yours first, and then I guess we can just talk up in the air. Sorry. I'll just say that for now. Sorry. That was really complex.
Edward is definitely number 1, and like what you said, all these are not in any specific order after that. The Fuhrer, Hohenheim, Roy Mustang, Greed/Ling.
Yeah.
I would definitely put Alex Armstrong up there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I do actually have a set 5.
Okay.
But Ed, in my mind too, just off rip, I think he's like a top 3 like main character in like most things I've seen.
Yeah.
Roy, Alphonse, Father, and Hohenheim.
Hmm.
No.
Yeah.
I think overall, especially like between the 3 of them, I love I love stories of sacrifice, especially when it's not really good for you. And it's always nice, like this show is more like friendly to the characters versus other shows we have, like where people might sacrifice a lot. Sometimes they don't always get exactly what they want.
Yeah.
And it worked out in the end that like Roy did, like for Roy, for example, like he did the right thing through and through and still was making the right choices, and he was able to like not redeem himself, but redeem himself enough that he felt that he could get his eyesight back. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like everybody... What?
I forgot that happened.
Yeah, he gets his eyesight back at the end.
I forgot that.
Yeah. So, like, that's one thing that's, like, really sweet, because it's, like, at the end of the day, like, he'll be more useful to the people of Ishval, even though he was such a huge part of the detriment to them.
Yeah.
And yeah, like Alphonse's progression through the story and finally get to see him become whole again is like great. And I just love like the idea of Father and Hohenheim, of like the 2 opposite sides of the coin that were battling from like almost like the beginning of time, it feels like.
Yeah.
And it's hard because like I love Olivier, I love Greed, I love Wrath too. Bradley, Bradley. I like Hohenheim as a character more, but Bradley is like my favorite villain in the show. I felt like it was Greed initially, but like Greed just isn't in it enough for me to like justify it.
I feel like this is one of those shows where it is too massive that I feel like I would have to do that like S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier kind of like list. in order for me to really explain like the overall feelings of characters. Now I do want to ask, are there any characters that you're not overly fond of? They don't do a whole lot for you. Celine?
Oh my god, I think that's crazy. I hate Salim, but like that's because of his character. Like I think he's like a great part of the show.
Yeah.
I think the only character for me that I don't particularly care for all that much is like Yoki.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know. I feel bad. I feel like there's a lot of characters like you're saying that were like of importance in the show, but then they kind of just like are quickly like forgotten, left off. Like,
Yeah.
That could be Nox.
Well, I feel like there's a lot of characters that kind of they make you stay with them for a long time, but overall their importance doesn't do a whole lot. You could have the plot exist without them. Like May is cute. You could have the show without her.
Absolutely.
Kimblee, I'm surprised to say this, but like overall didn't leave the biggest impact on me. I thought he was going to be a bigger contender because he's introduced very early on the show. You think he's going to be this big bad guy, but overall I feel like he doesn't harm a lot of our heroes. Like I feel like we get out pretty scot-free, all things considered, considering they were making him seem like this like serial killer type of guy.
He was more of a lapdog.
Yeah, he just, but like overall not super impressionable to me.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, and because of that, like there's characters that are probably forgettable to a lot of people that I've had a better time with, like Barry the Chopper.
Yeah.
Was a
He's a great character.
Was a hilarious addition to the show. Did his thing, went out, served his purpose. A lot of the Roy crew, still couldn't name them to this day. I feel like their importance is really just to be like ensemble cast for the Roy story. But that's like the moments where I was like, okay, then I wish they died, or like were sacrifices to the overall story. Yeah. Where sacrifice really didn't play a big role in this, and overall takes out a lot of the stakes over the course of the show. Because really, ultimately, other than Hohenheim, who else did we like lose that was like a big character, like for the good team? All the bad guys died.
Yeah.
And I can't think of any good guys that really...
Buccaneers. Buccaneer and Fu are like really the only ones. But I think a lot of, for me, for this show, it's not really about like... It's more about like personal sacrifice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it's not necessarily your life. I just more so mean like the scale of what we're dealing with. There's so many... Like our father, everybody's fighting him, but it's just like shields. Like I don't feel like in the fights there was no weight to a lot of the fights because no one's taking damage that carries on to the next few episodes. But overall, I mean, there are far more characters I love in this show than I dislike. If anything, what I feel right now is I wish I got to spend more time on personal journeys with a lot of these characters. I found the Chimeras very interesting. I felt the Armstrong family and the tension between their inner family issues interesting, but things that never got deeply touched on. Hohenheim, he did get touched on a lot, which I did like about that. But Roy got good treatment. Riza even got good treatment. I think they did those characters, the war heroes / villains, good treatment because that was a big focus on the show. So I think Roy got done well. The bad guys got done well. There was a lot of time was actually spent on the villains, surprisingly, in the show, and like exploring the purpose of who they are and what they do to these characters.
Yeah.
So that was nice. I don't have a lot of complaint about the bad guys. Salim's very annoying, but that's also just a personal taste. I don't like villains that stand still and tentacles are like the form. It's just not interesting to me animation-wise. But that's what the Fuhrer excels at for me. Like I loved that part of the bad guys.
Yeah.
Up close, personal, super intimidating, scary, straight-faced. Yeah. I would say like characters, my enjoyment's like solid 90. I'm fully happy with the characters I got in the show.
For sure.
I have a lot I want more from them. That's why the 10%'s taken off. Is that I feel like they could have done more with a lot of the characters. A lot of awesome characters too. And visually they look great.
Yeah.
Have no complaints about how the visuals look. Yeah. And then episodes.
Yeah. We'll do, I don't know how many you want to do.
I'm going to do three. Or 3 or 5, I think, is a fair thing. Because I'll do 5 because there are 5 that I know I love. Number 1 for sure is episode 63, the one where we get Al's body back.
Yeah.
Most impactful, the one that almost made me shed a tear. Hohenheim's death, Father's death. Overall, I feel like solidified the show and made clear what they want the story to be like about beginning to end. Like it put the seal in the book for what the purpose of the show was. Honestly, I think it was a better ending than the last episode. Like, I would have been happy if it was ended there, though I did want certain things wrapped up.
Yeah.
I think episode 60 is in the top 5, and this is where it gets into no order. I loved seeing Father reach out for the moon. Absolutely insane, blew my mind. We'll never forget that when I think of the show now. Nina Tucker episode.
Episode 4.
Super jarring. Kind of put a certain taste in my mouth what I was going to be expecting for the rest of this show. And surprisingly, not a lot of others compared to how twisted that one was.
Yeah.
I feel like that set a precedence, and it was really hard for a lot of episodes to combat. Follow that up. But that makes sense why so many fans recognize that episode, because it is one of those out of the blue, throw you into the deep kind of episodes.
Yeah.
And has lasting impact. And that's kind of thrown up in the air with the Hughes death too. I'm only not putting that up there because Nina was more impactful for me. I'm going to say... I'm going to say when they faked me out the Ross death, and there was a lot of like clever workings with the episodes, with the Cold Flame episode.
Mm-hmm.
That was a very unique episode. I remember my mind literally being blown because I was so confused what I was watching, and the show actually tricked me. I feel like the show didn't trick me a whole lot of times. I was amazed by what I was seeing, but not many times did the show make me feel baffled.
Yeah.
So Cold Flame was a fun one. There was another one on the list too that I saw that I really did like too. I don't want to miss it. I have an honorable mention already, but I gotta have a 5th episode because I know it's not on the 5th. It could also be very well the Roy, Beyond the Inferno, where he destroys Envy. Because Envy also was one of my favorite bad guys too, so I thought that was a satisfying ending to him. So I'm gonna say Beyond the Inferno. My honorable mention is meeting Ling in Rust Town.
That was good.
Because that is one of the funniest episodes, and I don't know, it was super lighthearted and I loved it.
Yeah.
It's very hard.
Number 1 is definitely episode 26, Reunion. That's when Ed opens up the portal and he sees Alphonse's body. I love that episode so much.
That's a great moment.
It is.
That's a great moment for sure. Yeah. Understandable.
I'll say episode 4, the Nina Tucker episode, because
Yeah.
that's just such a crazy impactful episode.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever episode Roy kills Lust.
It's like 20 or something?
Is it?
It's I think.
Yes, 19. 19. Death of the Undying.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Dude, there's too many.
There is. There really is. And it's harder too because we didn't get to do the show by season.
Yeah.
Where every other show we've had breakdowns to lead up to it. And I don't think there's a single show yet. Yeah, we haven't had a single reaction show that is this long that we've done a final opinion piece on. So this is technically the first big one.
Beyond the Infernal. I hate Envy so much, and it was great seeing him finally get destroyed.
Hello there. This is the Fuhrer.
And I'll say The Other Side of the Gateway.
Yeah.
Because it made me cry.
Mm-hmm. A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
As much as the Nina Tucker one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that all 5?
Was that 5?
Yeah,
I
that's
wasn't
5.
counting. I
That's
lost.
5.
You were like, and I was like, fuck, I don't remember how many you said.
I'm going to mark them all down now.
For me, it was 63. Yeah, it's hard. That one's just like to me, like the best episode of the series.
Yeah.
63, I'm a huge fan of 60. as well, with tearing down God. Yeah. The Beyond the Inferno.
Yeah.
I love that moment for Roy, and finally getting Envy, getting his get back against Envy for Maze Hughes. That's the best revenge that he could have gotten. I liked this. I forget what the name of the episode is called, but it's the Slave 23 one. It's down a little bit.
Oh, Dwarf in the Flask?
Dwarf in the Flask, yeah. I love that. That was... I finally got that backstory. I was so happy that became reality.
Yeah.
And we finally figured out a little bit of what is going on in this world.
Yeah.
And then my favorite one, and this is just my favorite moment, because two of the best villains in this facing off, the first Greed and Fuhrer fight.
Dude, that was almost on my list. The reveal of the Fuhrer and his eye was one of the... Okay.
What episode
we need to do favorite moments now. We need to do top 5 favorite moments.
13 or 14.
It was one of the ones I edited, so it was definitely earlier on.
Cold Flame was my first.
Yeah, so...
It's one of these. It's 13.
It's 14.
Those Who Lurk in the Underground.
Yeah, that to me is the... That was the... I always say it's the coolest fight, but that was probably my favorite for the homunculuses, because those two going at it was insane.
Yeah, dude. Okay, we should do favorite moments, and this is actually far harder than episodes, because I would say there are more grand moments than there are a whole grand episode.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is so damn hard.
How many moments?
Because the last 4 episodes alone
are just
have
all
so
moments.
many great moments.
They're just all great moments.
Ugh.
How many? Just one?
No, let's do 3. Let's do 3.
Look how small Ed is in that picture. Go down and 3 to the right. Look how small he is.
Oh my god, yeah.
So that's the thing. They did in the beginning of the show, because I remember when he looked taller, and we were or you were like, when did he get so tall? But they really did slowly change him over time. Because even that one to the far right there, where he's in the shadow,
Xerxes.
He looks older.
Yeah.
When he's on his way to Xerxes after Ling.
Okay, this is harder than I thought.
I feel like we should just pick one and rest everything on it. Because I feel like we start picking 3. I'm I can do 5. Really, I can do 10. I can do 20.
Moments. Damn, but I don't even know what to choose. I want to hear what you guys have to say. It's also hard because a lot of my memories, the recent, few, past 20.
It's so funny because I think Al's moments, all 3 of the moments are for Al for me.
Really?
Yeah. I loved, I'll say my favorite moment in this whole show is Al sacrificing himself to get Ed's arm back, and then Ed in turn fighting Father and beating him up and winning in that moment. Then my second one is Al getting the Philosopher's Stone and making that resolute decision to fight Kimberly and Kimberly and Salim.
Yeah.
And then I really like Roy killing Lust. That was
such a great moment.
Yeah, that was so cool. I really like the him killing Envy, but it made me more sad that he was falling so deep into the darkness. When killing Lust was just great. I'm awesome. I'm really cool right now.
His 8-pack.
I seared the wind club.
Yeah.
Almost passed out from the pain.
Yeah. I don't even like dudes like that, but damn, that's crazy.
This is way too freaking hard because there's I'm also it's so far removed from when Scar was having many big episodes too. I'm looking at these thumbnails, I'm yeah, Scar used to be my guy. It's been so long. I'm gonna say the reunion when you guys told me that they added a scene that wasn't in the manga where Ed points the finger at Alphonse. I think you guys telling me that made it even more special too, because I did think that was a great addition if they were to ever add things that weren't canon to the original story. That would be a dope moment. And I think it works too. And I love when, like I said the other day, when they use outro music at the right moment. It was perfect, and I loved the Let It Out song. So that's a top moment for me.
Yeah, that was great.
I really do like the conversation between Truth and Ed, as quick as it is. I do like it.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like it's a little bit cheating, but like to also parallel against the dwarf versus Truth. Just kind of that whole little bit towards the end of the show, I thought was a solid moment. Dude, it's so freaking
damn. And like Greed dying too. That's a great moment.
I feel like I need to hear yours before I finish mine.
I'm coming back for you. Just you wait. Episode 26 reunion. I really enjoyed when we get the backstory on human transmutation.
Oh, that's so dark.
Yeah, I really like that.
So creepy.
So that's my number 2.
My favorite moment: Barry the Chopper and Alphonse showing each other that they're both just shells.
Headless.
They're both just shells of humans.
I was trying not to meme because some of my favorite moments are a lot of
memes,
moments. Like one of my favorite moments is Ling when everybody's like, "Hey, who caused this damage?" And he's like, "But he did!" And he goes, "I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you're saying."
I don't know what you're saying.
He's pretending to be like somebody that doesn't know the language. Was hilarious. I loved Barry the Chopper and everything he was. Damn. I love Louis Armstrong in everything he does. And like every moment.
The third is their flex off.
Their flex off. Like
Flex
that,
off is
that's
so
the thing. All these little like top 3s we're doing for you should prove that the show has unlimited potential because there's too many grand moments.
I'm not choosing like grand moments. I like the smaller shit.
But that's the thing. Smaller shit or big shit, it's all good
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
There's too much. This is actually one of the hardest things I've had deciding in any of the shows we watch.
I mean, I would fuck, dude. I want to throw Salim's fight up there against everybody. That's a great moment where he's chopping down trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when he's when Father or Owen domes him.
That's really what it is. Is there
Oh fuck, Armstrong putting his shoulder back in place. Wah!
We did favorite characters. We did favorite moments in episodes as best as we could.
You haven't finished your moments.
Well, I'm just leaving off on the fact that it can't be contained. It really can't. Because I could look at these thumbnails literally, guys, and just tell you all these moments. I love anytime Sloth's on screen because he's freaking hilarious to me. I love the banter. I love the episode where Hohenheim is hanging out with Ed for once, and Ed punches him across the field, and then all the chimeras are hanging out. I love the random moments where Roy just goes to the brothel of women and it makes no sense, but it's there. I love when Scar's being a badass and taking names, even though I despise what he's doing.
I couldn't think of any Scar moments.
Anytime we meet a random alchemist that has unique power, copper, water, what you name it, is a fun thing. Ling is one of the funnier characters to me, and I love spending time with him. I wish we got more with him. All the homunculus were very satisfying to watch, and the reveals were all great in this show. Now I want to ask, where does this rate? Where do you rate this show? If you had to give an IMDb rating, or Rotten Tomatoes score, and our overall experience. Because you guys also watched it as kids growing up. And honestly, I have to say, I envy you guys. Funny enough, I envy you guys. Because this would have been a really fun show to grow up on. Just watching this, I'm like, this is what Lost is for me. This is one of those experience. It's not a Lost for me.
Yeah.
Because that's what I grew up on.
But it would have been if you were at that age.
One of these incredible things you get to witness, and then it kind of forms the type of person you might grow up to be. It helps shape your ideas on the world. There's a lot of big things on here that would you call this shonen for younger audiences? Because I would say this is definitely, if I had to say, a shonen. This is a young men, young girls story where they can grow up and learn life lessons from these characters, and can definitely shape how you see war, how you see politics, your opinions on science and faith. Some really heavy hitting things, and even if they don't go too deep into it, things that can definitely shape it. And and then me and Will were talking just experience wise. I would say my only complaint is probably how we watched this, which has nothing to do with the show itself. It's been a long show that we've watched, and sometimes we would watch these 6 episodes in a very short span, then we don't see it for a month or something like that. And that definitely can change the experience. And I said, and I'm gonna keep this rating just so people can understand, there's the rating in which we watched it, and then me understanding what it probably should get had you watched it in a normal manner. So I'd say how we watched it, it's like a 70, 75 experience, because it was just so, like, we would go weeks without seeing Edward Elric. We'd come in, we'd watch like 4 episodes that Ed's not in, not show up to watch them because we were watching so many other shows, and it's like, damn, I would forget that Edward Elric is a character sometimes. And then objectively, just understanding that this is a very good show, understanding that week to week this would be a fun thing to tune in for. My love for the characters, the music, overall it's probably like an 85 or 80 is where I'd rank this. I do have complaints about the show, but it's kind of universal complaints I have about anime in general or shows I watch in general. You could probably knock out like 15 episodes for sure.
Yeah.
Honestly, maybe even 20. Like you could take out chunks of this show, not for filler, but like to get to the point quicker. Like I love Death Note. It's like a 30-some episode show, and I still think you could slim it down. I love Evangelion. It's only like 26 episodes. I still think you could cut like 8 episodes out of that show.
Yeah.
I feel that way for most things. I feel like sometimes it's better to just get to certain things. And another reason it's not getting that extra 20% is I'm a big mystery guy, and I explained this to Will too. With Lost, and you guys could argue, because I don't want to just base this against Lost, but in Lost, there are big mysteries that get brought into the show early on. And sometimes you will not learn those big mysteries until the end of the show, which might be annoying. However, they disguise it in that show by introducing a lot of little mysteries throughout the show in Season 1, and you get answered it in Season 2. Maybe 3 things in Season 2, and you learn it in 3, 4, and 5. Where this, my bigger complaint was I didn't feel like there was a lot of little mysteries to help me through, and I had to wait to get all the big answers until like the last 20 episodes, or some 10. Of them the last 10 or last 5.
Yeah.
And the good news for the show is the payoff was good. I did like the visuals and the payoffs that I got. A lot of the deaths that did occur were satisfying. A lot of the mysteries were really cool when they got paid off. But it was kind of excruciating to have to wait for it, to be honest. Yeah. So, 80 to 85.
Give it an 85.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This show was like in my top 3 favorite anime, but it's since moved down the list because of other good shows.
Yeah.
It's probably like 7 or something, but yeah. I agree with a lot of people before AOT took the spot that this was like one of the best ever made.
Yeah. And it is one of those things. Another thing, because I was trying to like figure out what I wanted to share for like our last thoughts for today with Will on when we were driving, and I was saying, like, we can also acknowledge that this is an older show, animation wise.
It's 2009.
It's not going to live up to what we've now seen from a Demon Slayer entertainment arc. It just can't. Time wise, it's just not. It will not be there. I would say that it does hold up for its time. Sometimes I did think the fighting was like okay. It wasn't my favorite, but I think it has to be with the fact that we've seen better things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Though, honestly, I know you're making fun of the Fuhrer. I think Fuhrer was one of the big reasons I like the Fuhrer. Is I think he helped carry some of the better action sequences.
I wasn't making fun of him. I was just trying to remind you that scene was lit.
Yeah, that was lit. But like sometimes, like, yeah, it's the time. It's the time in which this came out, and there's just been a lot more things I've seen recently that are better.
So like over 10 years old.
Yep.
Yeah. I say for me, and I'll give 2 ratings too, because I watched this in sub the first time and dub now. And so I would say the sub overall to me is like, to me and like how I view the show as a whole is probably like an 84, I would say, 83, something like that. And the dub, I'm honestly, there's some good acting in it, but for the most part, to me it just doesn't compare. So it makes me feel more like a 75 just from the performance. No knock against any of the actors. They have to do what they can. Sometimes Japanese to English translation just doesn't always vibe so well with the way they want you to perform or act. But like this show is it's like a, not a tone setter. I don't really know. It's a trailblazer in the sense of like what anime is today. Yeah. I would say. Like, if you look back at older animes and you see what was, like, generally the most popular when you're talking about, like, stuff like Dragon Ball, or, Dragon Ball, Yu Yu Hakusho, older stuff than, like, the Bleach, Naruto, One Piece. All great stories, but they fit a kind of almost, like, superhero-esque genre. The Marvel of, like, anime, where I feel like this show kind of introduced to at least a bigger audience that, like, anime can do more. Like, it wasn't that mysterious. Or it was, but it wasn't as, like, continually mysterious. But I feel like something like this is, like, what, like, paved the way for, like, an AOT to come about. You know what I mean? So, to me, like, and I know at one point, yes, this was recognized as, like, probably the greatest anime story in totality. It just isn't that anymore, but I mean the art style, it's a classic story. It's such a great like moment, and I love the lessons that it teaches throughout the show because it hits on so many things, even if it's more surface level. I mean the whole like you have like scientific belief, your faith, how to like how to conduct yourself as a person, like what's morally good and what someone ought to do, you know what I mean? Almost very deep philosophical questions that you don't always get in shows. And even the end, like I love the way Ed ends the show in that speech when he's riding off of the train and talking about how like, when you push through the pain in life, you can like make the right decision and come out better, and through that pain, like I don't know, it's always corny. To me sometimes it's corny when shows end like this, when it's like, and that's why we were, just because Lost has been brought up, and that's why we've always been lost. And then it's just like, okay, but like just the way he ended it with having a heart made Fullmetal, like, and a lot of times people a lot of times people too talk about like having a stone cold heart, and that's usually not a good thing. But he was talking about having like an armor protected heart, like ready for the harshness of the world, and like a strong heart that is willing to like give that love back. And that's like what Ed and Al are ultimately doing, regardless of like the atrocity that they have seen committed by their friends, their peers, their common soldiers, and like their country, and what has happened to themselves.
And that is why this show still gets an 80 to 85 for me, because it is shonen, and I kind of feel about it how I feel with the Studio Ghibli's we just watched, where it does not fully satisfy me now as a 27-year-old. But like I can watch and be like, I would love this as a kid. Like this is valuable. Like I like a little bit more hard-hitting stuff. That's why like I enjoy Vinland, because it confused the hell out of me, because I had to think harder than I do for this show. I like AOT because it's a bit edgier and grittier, and it goes into these kind of themes on a very deep level. But that's why those are seinen, more catered to what
maturity,
what is appropriately designed for us. But that's why it still gets a high view, because even if it's not my particular taste of what I'm trying to indulge in now, it doesn't make it bad. It doesn't make it bad by any means. And like I said, super envious, because this is one of those things I can't change about my life, because I would love to grow up and see the villains Fiora Bradley and the heroes Edward Elric and Greed and Ling, because these guys are definitely epic. I kind of want, what this show has left me with is kind of wanting more. I want a lot more. I'm not gonna get it probably. I'm hopeful though, just like this show is bloody optimistic. I'm gonna be optimistic that one day I can get an upgrade to this show. Maybe somebody tries to reinvent, like they reinvent all these other shit things, reinvent great things like this. And see if you can do it justice.
What did you think of the comedy in this? Did it do anything for you?
Comedy. That's always an interesting topic with me.
Because you're very different when it comes to comedy.
I'm very picky. I think it's just because I only find certain things like actually laughable.
Yeah.
The humor is good in this. It's not enough to evoke like a laugh verbally.
Yeah.
But like it'll
Like
put a
a-
smile. It'll make me happy on the inside, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I said, Ling was funny to me. I liked his quick wit. Luis is kind of just a meme. That's why he's funny. It's not that he's really humorous, but just the essence of a big man who
He's
looks
over
like
the
a
top.
baby
Yeah.
and flexes to make people happy is funny. But I wouldn't say it's like the center focus of the show. Just more kind of like a thing they have to combat some of the heavy nature for a younger audience that is watching this. Because you also have to keep the attention of people kids are watching, and when kids watch Edward become an alligator face angry, it's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
but it's a great adventure show. I don't know what genre I'd put it in, because mystery does play a role, but it's also good, just kind of a coming of age anime. I feel like that's a bigger role, because you're really following two brothers and how far a young person can go to get what they want to achieve in life. I feel like that's probably the biggest form. So maybe I would call this coming of age anime, because that is like the center focus really at the end of it. Politics aside and war aside, that's what the show is about.
The old school Demon Slayer.
Yeah, coming of age. Yeah, for sure.
I just always laugh to make that comparison. Oh, I need to get my siblings' normal body back together. I'm like, wow, where have I seen this?
Yeah.
Alphonse was first, not UNESCO.
Yeah. R.I.P. She's still a demon.
Not for she ain't dead, but for when she died though.
Yeah. Any last thoughts before we wrap up this chapter?
I'm glad we watched it.
I'm glad we watched it. I'm very glad we watched it. I'm thankful that you guys recommended me this show. I feel like it's another classic that I get to now put in my repertoire. So thank you. Thank you for the power of the poll. I think we have a lot of anime coming up soon. We're hopping into the fall season. By the time this comes out, we're probably deep into fall. I don't even know where this episode will be dropping to the public, but what's up, gang? Hope you guys are enjoying the newer anime that we have going on.
It's like 10 weeks away from now. 'Cause
Yeah.
54, I think, came out this week.
Hope you guys are enjoying Death Note, because we've been deep into Death Note by that point.
And My Hero we should be in like everything by now.
Yeah,
My Hero, Chainsaw Man, and Death Note.
Yeah, so
Spy Fan.
what's up, what's up, future working title gang? Gang, what's up, early
New
Patreon
subscribers.
gang? Yeah.
Looking at you.
And thank you for the support. I think that about wraps it. So, guys,
I was gonna
cool,
say
yeah.
I'm glad we watched this again, because there's a lot of shit towards the end of the show I barely remember.
Yeah.
Because when I watched this, I was high as fuck.
Nice.
Note to self: don't get high if you want to watch great things, because then you have to watch it again.
So not like your comparison of sub versus dub, but are you glad you
Rewatching.
watched it differently?
Yeah, I mean, it was cool to. I'm always down to watch the story again because I enjoy it. It was interesting to experience it a different way, and perceive things like a little bit, because I wasn't. This isn't like a show where I was like, I need to YouTube every single thing. Like a lot of it's just from what I remember for the most part. And I do follow some like TikTok people in there that are big like Fullmetal heads that post like Fullmetal content. But like, yeah, I was just glad to be back in this, and it's one of the because I've recommended this to a lot of people because I think me personally, I think this is a good gateway into anime. This show, I think this is a lot better than trying to watch. Like I feel like people that recommend AOT, it's like it's a great show, but like
it's a crazy story.
It's hard because nothing yet will meet that level.
Yeah,
and also doesn't have the typical anime tropes, so it still won't prepare you for what
other
most
anime
is.
And if you try and recommend them, like Dragon Ball's just too old for a modern audience. Like if you want to start from the beginning and catch yourself up, and if you want to watch Naruto and One Piece, granted I haven't watched One Piece. I think you should watch Naruto for sure.
Absolutely,
I love Naruto and Naruto Shippuden are some of the greatest stories ever.
Yeah.
But it's just too much. If you had to sit there, like, I always think about it in terms like this. If I had to convince my mom, who's very open to watching stuff, my mom would not want to sit there and watch 500 episodes of a TV show. It's just not fucking happening.
No.
And honestly, if you're telling me right now it's not for the channel, I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, I'm not watching One Piece.
Unless
it's for the channel, yeah.
And if we got other editors.
Yeah.
But like other than that, like I don't really
recommending it to your mother.
But that's not where I would recommend something. Where it's relatively short, great story, concise, and it gives you like a good idea of what the world of anime is. Because it's literally just like the tip of the iceberg. It's a great starting point.
See, I have like, I don't know. You can like, I mean, you all have probably met people where you can be like, there's no way you're ever gonna watch anime, ever. I could mention one of my supervisors at work. I was like, there's no way he's ever gonna watch anime. But if he did, I would recommend AOT to them. Just like that'd be the one anime that they watch because it's a crazy good story. Like I know, my one supervisor that I'm thinking of, he loves Game of Thrones. So I'm just like, you're gonna love AOT if you decide to watch that one day.
Yeah.
I don't know so much about this though.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's. I mean, I'm not. Also, in fairness, when I reference like talking to about my mom, I'm not like I wouldn't recommend like a fully grown adult. This, not that we're not fully grown adults, but like it's harder to get kids, like a 45 to 60-year-old to watch a show that's really made for kids. But more so, if it's someone that is even like a little bit inclined to watching something that's more on the childish side, or they could handle that, I would go this way. If you go right to AOT, they're going to be like, wow, this is the greatest thing ever. They're never going to find something like it again. And all other anime. To me, all other anime is stupid. Which I know that's very different because the common thing nowadays is everyone saying, first anime I watched was Attack on Titan, and now I love anime. And now I'm watching
very frustrating
High School DxD. It's like, okay, dude, I don't know how you got there. But.
All right.
I would love my nephew to watch this when he gets a little bit older.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if you remember, I tried showing this to my mom and dad. They're on their phone the entire time.
Yeah, like, yeah. I mean, that wouldn't really be too great. But even then, it's like, even with Attack on Titan, it's just, at the end of the day, there's just some people that just aren't going to be into anime. As good as it is, like, I know, there's just people that aren't going to want it.
Like, my younger brother says he doesn't like animated or cartoon shows. But I feel like he would like Attack on Titan, you know?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Most people do that watch it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. But Fullmetal, thank you for letting me visit your lands.
Of Mistress.
It's beautiful. And vicious. Creepy. Funny. And now it's time to put you to rest.
Well, would you want an alchemy?
No.
No?
I don't want to ever touch it. Don't want to be anywhere in this world.
I don't want to see that man ever.
Nope.
Yeah.
Don't want it. Don't want to be a part of this world. Don't want to be a part of Attack on Titan either. I'll be a part of My Hero. Guys, if you like this video, make sure you leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more anime. This is not the end for us. Make sure it's not the end for you. Keep our bond together. Check out the Patreon if you want to get early access to other content. And we'll see you in the next series. Punch it!
Bah! We don't just watch anime.
We watch live action too.
Yep.
Beat.